Hey guys, it's Dave here, just doing a quick impromptu video today. I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the latest news we saw with Rocket Lab and the Virgin Orbit deal specifically. Apparently, Michael Sheets, who is a reporter for CNBC covering the space industry, pretty reputable source, spoke to someone from Jefferies who had a meeting with Rocket Lab. They cover the company, and Rocket Lab is actually presented at previous Jefferies industry conferences and stuff like that. So there's definitely a relationship there, and it all seems very plausible. These meetings and tours and stuff like that do often take place. And what he heard from Jefferies was that the $16 million purchase Rocket Lab made of Virgin Orbit's assets and real estate is actually worth about $100 million, according to Rocket Lab. So I always figured they got a pretty good deal on this because they were buying off of a determined seller who was going through bankruptcy and had to unload all their assets. But it sounds like they really got a steal of a deal, making $84 million compared to what the assets are actually worth. That's absolutely amazing. I really didn't think it'd be that great, to be honest, and I was a little caught off guard by this purchase. I didn't expect Rocket Lab to buy these Virgin Orbit assets. I didn't think there was going to be a lot of crossover in manufacturing techniques and things of that nature. Clearly, I was wrong. There are a lot of similarities when it comes to engine size, both using carbon fiber composites and how those are made as well. So a lot of these machines will be able to be used for Rocket Lab's Neutron. Still do have a few questions around this, like Peter Beck was very vocal about the fact that having Neutron manufacturing very close to the launch site would be a huge plus for Neutron. That's one of the reasons they made those tanks and that body so big. They don't have to worry about squeezing it under tiny bridges on roads. However, this new facility that they purchased, Virgin Orbit's headquarters, as well as all these new pieces of equipment, are way over on the other coast. So I don't really know how this is going to work. I can't see them transporting tanks and carbon fiber tanks and body materials all the way across the country. Maybe a lot of these machines are going to be packed up and shipped to a Neutron facility over near Virginia, and then this Virgin Orbit facility will be used for more satellite manufacturing or other purposes. Not too sure as of yet on that, but no matter what, it really sounds like a great deal. And apparently it could actually improve Rocket Lab's balance sheet as opposed to making it worse. The reason behind that being they could actually borrow against these assets if they had to. So they have now assets worth, up to $100 million on the books on their balance sheet that they only paid $16 million for. When they do make purchases like this and the cash balance drops, usually I think that's kind of bad for the balance sheet, but in this case, perhaps not, seeing as how they are tangible assets that are worth much more than the cash paid for it. There was also some other discussions between Jefferies and Rocket Labs. They did share that they're expecting 20 launches next year. Now, that's pretty in line with what my expectations were as well on my spreadsheet, where I kind of made projections on how many launches I was expecting, what the financials would look like for the next 5 years plus. Now that we have that guidance of 20 kind of firmed up, though, I can definitely go in and make any adjustments I need. And to me, 20 is where Electron should really start to be quite profitable. We've heard from the company that 24 or 2 launches a month is where you start to get to around 50% gross margin. And obviously that's gross and not net. So there are other things to take out, but 50% gross margin nonetheless is quite a good margin. And if they do get up to 20 next year, sorry about that car outside. If they do get to 20 next year, then they'll be well on their way to 24, which would be a huge win for the company in the future. They also did say that they have the capability of doing up to 48 launches a year, but Rocket Lab doesn't see the demand to get there, at least at this point, and I don't really either, but that's okay because 24 is a great model, a great little business line for the company. Anything beyond that is really just bonus as far as I'm concerned. I've never even modeled to get anywhere above really 24, and they don't need to in order to make a profit on that business. As far as Neutron goes, Rocket Lab was telling Jefferies that they're proceeding kind of slowly on the customer side of things. They're not actually really looking to sign contracts and build up a backlog for Neutron as of yet. The reason being on that is if they were to make contracts so far in advance of when the vehicle is ready, they'd probably have to give out some discounts on launch. So they don't really want to give out those discounts, therefore they're not signing up customers quite yet. You could take this as a good sign or a bad sign. You might think it's a bad sign that, oh my gosh, this vehicle doesn't even have backlog yet. Look at, say, Relativity's Terran R. They've already got a big backlog, and they're quite further behind in their development. But I think it's a good thing. I think it shows some confidence from Rocket Lab. They don't need to prove to anybody that there's a real rocket and they do have a market for it. They're willing to wait until the rocket is real and they can charge full price for this vehicle because they're confident the demand will be there, and they don't have to give out discounts to try and drum up business. So to me, I'm completely fine with that. Let me know when you think we'll start to hear first customer contracts for Neutron. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not until, maybe even next year sometime, but I'm not in a huge rush for that either. So that's all the news for Rocket Lab today. I just wanted to hop on and do a really quick discussion video, extremely casual, not as structured as some of my other videos, really just my current thoughts as they come to me. Right now, the stock has still been dropping a little bit lately, and after that options trade I made where I almost doubled my money, I've been kind of content to wait and see where the stock settles. We were almost at that $5 mark. Now we're getting closer to $4.50. I'm not buying right now, definitely not selling, no plans to sell any of my shares in the near future. But before I consider buying any more or doing any other moves, I think I'll just kind of wait and see how the stock settles and where we kind of level out. A lot of this comes down to the macro markets, as always, but I do think the company has been executing pretty well lately, and I'm pretty pleased with all the news we've been hearing out of them. So I guess that's it for today. Just wanted to hop on and have a quick discussion. Let me know, what do you guys think that Virgin Orbit headquarter building is going to be used for? Are they actually going to be manufacturing parts for Neutron and sending them all the way across the country? Or are they planning to use it for some other purposes? And how do you feel about this deal? Are you feeling a lot better about it now that we've heard this news? Let me know down in the comments below. Always enjoy the discussion. Hope you guys have a great week. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.